up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Megan, and today is a very realistic back to school morning routine. I have filmed a morning routine in the past, but not like a school edition one. This is our third week going back to school, so I feel like we've kind of conquered a good routine, me and the kids. So I wanted to share it with you guys. But it's not aesthetic, it's not perfect. This is just legit what our lives look like from 4:30 in the morning to about noon in the afternoon. So figure I'd take you guys with me. As you guys saw, I get up about 4:20, get ready for the gym, and I like to be out the door by 4:45. Leave the gym by 6:15, and I get home at 6:30, take a shower, and put a little bit of a face on. I go in at 7 o'clock and make sure my daughter Reese is up, who is 14. She's a freshman in high school. And then Ridge is always getting up right at 7 o'clock. So I really try to be dressed with a face on. Sometimes I'm able to do my hair, sometimes I'm not. This morning, it is what it is. It's not getting done, which is totally fine. And then we come downstairs, and Ridge always has a cup of milk. And then him and I figure out what he's going to eat for breakfast. I had gotten a pumpkin spice box of donut holes from Walmart the other day. The kids love them. So the last 2 mornings, that's what they had for breakfast until they were all gone. So that's what he had. He had about 5 donut holes. I did chop up some fresh strawberries for him, and he had that for his breakfast. While he eats, I let him have his little tablet for 30 minutes. I go sit down, have my protein coffee, and I try to kind of go over things that need to get done for the week and see what all I want to tackle for the day. I try to kind of make like a little to-do list just real quick. It takes me like 5 or 10 minutes to do it, and that way I kind of am organized on things that I definitely want to check off my list for the day. I needed to wash a load of Ridge's underwear because he was completely out. So you see me pulling them out of the washer and throwing them into the dryer. I usually have to wash his underwear like every 2 or 3 days because he's not fully potty trained. It is what it is, so I'm always doing his laundry. And then by 8:15, 8:20, we are loading up in the car. Reese's high school starts at 8:45, and we live about 5 minutes from the high school, but traffic's still a little chaotic, so it takes about 10-ish minutes to get through the car rider lane and all of that. So the kids and I load up, and we drop Reese off at school. And here you see her getting out. She gets all like nervous when I like throw the camera on her. And then I come home and I make my breakfast, and I am starving by this point because my butt has been up since 4 o'clock and I've already done a workout. Sometimes the protein coffee helps fill me up for just a little bit, but guys, I was hungry. So I usually cook up 2 eggs, sometimes throw vegetables in, sometimes I don't. I had made some pumpkin bread over the weekend. So I allow myself to have half of a slice of pumpkin bread, a half a banana with some peanut butter, and then I always put a dollop of cottage cheese and hot sauce on my eggs. It's just kind of been one of my go-to breakfasts lately that I'm really, really enjoying. Oh, I also had a cutie. I totally forgot. Our cuties were like getting ready to go bad, and so I was trying to eat them up. This point, it is 9 o'clock, and this is when I go upstairs and I really try to get Ridge ready for the day. He picks out his outfit, we get him dressed, brush his teeth, all of that stuff. And then we get ready to do circle time. So circle time is a new thing that him and I are doing. Talon, my oldest, moved out, and he is at a big university and has a dorm and everything. So what I did is I bought an art easel and set it up in my oldest's room, just in the corner by the window. And that is like our school area. So I always tell, Ridge, I'm like, let's get ready and go to school, because I do want him getting used to like going to a classroom, going to a little school. So I didn't want it in his room or just out in the living room. So I figured I'd just set it up in there, since Talon's room's not really being used while he's in college. But he still has his bed, so when he comes home for breaks and all of that, he still has a bed and all of that. All of his stuff's still in there. It's just one little corner is Ridge's now. So this time I'm kind of tidying up his room, making his bed, and just kind of getting his room in order for the day. And then we go in and we brush teeth and I do his hair. I need to give him a haircut. I didn't realize it until I was like really styling it today that it has gotten super long. He's wanting to style it. As you can see, he's putting his fingers in the hair because he's dipping his little fingers in the gel and he's trying to help mommy style it. But gosh, it was not styling for me today. So I ended up just like combing it to the side. It is what it is. He had like a little slicked comb over look, but it's fine. He enjoys when I style his hair. So we really try to do that every day. And then usually like by 9:30, we're done getting ready and we're ready to go do school/circle time. So I really try to keep circle time very, very short. His attention span is not long at all. 15 minutes is max for this kid. Like, he wants to be up, he wants to be running around. He likes jumping on Big Brother's bed. So I try to do very, very quick. We do a good morning song, a weather song, a days of the week song, and then I go through the list of circle time. So as you can see, on the piece of paper, I have his name. We go over that. We have a letter of the week, a number for the week, a shape for the week, and a color for the week. Then after we get done with that, we go over to Brother's desk in his room, and I have a few little activities. I usually try to give him 1 or 2 sheets depending on how he's behaving and wants to continue to interact. If he's kind of over it, then we only do 1 sheet and we're done for the day. But if he's still enjoying it, we'll do 2 sheets. And this day he only did 1. So circle time was like 10 minutes. That's it. But I think he's really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. And I think it's a really good routine for him and I to be in. Then we usually go outside if the weather's nice. And of course this morning it's beautiful. It's 70 and just the sun's starting to come out. It was really nice. I always go around and we check the garden for a harvest. So if there's any fruits or vegetables that need to be harvested, him and I harvest and pick them together. Sometimes I'll pick a bunch of flowers and put them in vases. So we go around and do that. And then we play for a little bit outside. We play with Bowie. And we like to try to spend at least 30 minutes outside in the morning, as long as the weather's nice. And as you can see, he loves picking cucumbers. It's his favorite thing in the garden. We were taught that you just twist the cucumber and it comes off. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it takes us forever to twist those cucumbers off. But we had a nice big harvest. I think we had like 7 cucumbers. We had 1 tomato. You guys, that was my first tomato of the summer. I planted that tomato plant May 1st. And I just now got my first red tomato. That's how long. I don't know. Am I doing something wrong? You guys tell me. But holy moly, did it take forever for us to grow 1 tomato. We ended up having that tomato in our salad today, and it was delicious. So it was worth the wait, but I would have liked to have had way more tomatoes throughout the season. So I don't know. I need to go back to the drawing board for next year because I do want to try tomatoes again. But as you can see, we came inside. He has a tiny little snack. He gets some water, and then Mom cleans up the kitchen and gets it ready for lunchtime. We have still some dishes that I unloaded in it, put it away for the day. I have all breakfast dishes. I have snack dishes, and then we have all the stuff laid out from breakfast that I need to put away, and then all the stuff in the garden that we harvested that I need to put away. So I do a very quick tidy up of the kitchen. Alright, so while we were out in the garden, I realized there was a lot of stuff that I needed to do to the garden beds before fall comes. I had gone to Home Depot last weekend and I picked up some broccoli seeds and some kale seeds, as you guys saw. And I think the broccoli needs to go in pretty soon. I feel like it needs to go in before October 1st, if I'm not mistaken, and then kale can go like I think closer to November. I think kale does really well in like the winter. I need to do a little bit more research, but there's things that I want to take out. There's tons of lettuce that I need to just harvest and take it out, and kind of clean up the garden beds and get them ready. So I wanted to just write down a list in my garden book and just get that nice and organized, and hopefully I can start working on that this weekend. And then usually like around 11:30 is when Ridge and I have lunch. So today he's having one of those deep dish pizzas. We love those. He can throw them in the air fryer and they're done in 5 minutes. But we had some pepperonis on hand and he wanted to add more pepperonis to his pizza. So he was very adamant about that. So we were adding more pepperonis to his pizza, putting that in, and of course he loves helping mommy cook his food, so we do that together. And then I believe I chopped up some strawberries for him on his plate, and he also got one of those Danimal yogurt drinkables. We call those smoothies in our house. He loves those. He drinks like 3 of those a day. He just loves them. So as you can see, we're cutting it up and getting his plate ready. Once I have Ridge's plate ready and he's already eating his lunch, it's time for Mom to make her lunch. This salad I've been making the entire month of August and I've yet to get tired of it. There's nothing special about it, but I don't know what it is about all these ingredients coming together in a bowl is so delicious. So I wanted to share my go-to salad recipe right now with you guys. As you saw, I love these real good chicken strips. They're so good. I love throwing them in the air fryer. They take about 15 minutes in the air fryer. So by the time I'm like done making Ridge's lunch and getting my salad all put together, they're about done. So it's kind of a perfect timing. But I always chop up a bunch of romaine and then also a bunch of spinach because, you know, you need your fiber. So I like to add a little bit of spinach to my salad just to kind of sneak that into my body. We also always add a cucumber from the garden because we have so many cucumbers from our garden. It's insane. I've definitely learned that I don't need as many cucumber plants. I think there's 6 plants out in the garden, 6 or 8. I probably only need to do like 4 max next year because we have cucumbers for days in this house, and they're not the pickling kind, so they're only the kind that we can snack or throw in salad. So Ridge and I at least have like 2 cucumbers a day, between 1 in my salad and 1 with some hummus after he gets up from his nap. Like, we're having cucumbers all the time. But I was excited to actually have a tomato in my salad. I haven't been able to put a tomato in my salad because my garden has not been producing tomatoes until today. So you guys were here to witness me pick my one and only tomato that I had from this whole entire summer. And she was delicious, I will say. Ridge and I got to share her in my salad and she was so good. So I guess she was worth the wait. Then I chop up, cucumber, tomato. I do throw some Colby Jack cheese, a little bit of some red onion. I love some Italian seasoned croutons. I don't put that many. I put like 6 in there. Drizzling of light honey mustard, and chop up my chicken strip, and it is so good, you guys, and it's so filling. I don't know, with the light breading, the croutons, and then the spinach fills me up, but this satisfies me till about 2:30, and that's usually when Ridge and I will have our after nap time snack together. So As you can see, we're just sitting up at the counter. He's watching a little show on his tablet, and I'm just sitting there chilling. Sometimes I kind of talk to him. Sometimes I'll put like a YouTube show on in the background and watch an episode of that. But this is it. This is our routine, and then he goes down for a nap. So I hope you guys enjoyed spending this back to school routine with us. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.